Alright, this episode is all about the Electro-Harmonix Pocket Metal Muff. This is a very simple yet powerful distortion pedal by Electro-Harmonix, discontinued 5 years ago in 2020. So the question is this a thing we should forget about, or is it actually a hidden gem? Alright, this pedal here is a very stripped down version of the original Electro-Harmonix Metal Muff, this one here by the way. Then there was a smaller version, and then there was this one. Very basic, we only have a volume and a distortion knob, that's it. Then we get a 3-way toggle switch to scoop the mids and to scoop them even more. So the options to shape your tone with this pedal were quite limited, and maybe that's one of the reasons it got discontinued 5 years ago. This pedal is quite like what you see is what you get. If you have one of those on your board, it's like an instant face melting metal button. There is another version of this which comes in the exact same size. It's called the Nano Metal Muff. It has some more knobs here, so you have more tone shaping options. Plus it has an onboard noise gate, which is pretty cool, but it's missing the 3-way switch. Can't have everything, right? Anyways, this is as simple as it gets, and as you can see, this particular one has seen some action. You know, the knobs are all messed up, it's got scratches and everything. I used this thing when I was in my early 20s at some gigs, you know, these kind of gigs where you play at shitty venues in front of very few people who are drunk, by the way, so there's no stage. You are at one level with the crowd. People are spilling beer all over your shit and stepping on your stuff. These kind of gigs. Miss those days. Anyway, since the volume control is pretty self-explanatory, let's check out what the distortion control does. Even at the lowest setting, it's quite distorted already. By the way, I'm plugged into a Marshall DSL-20, which is sitting on top of a, well, actually it's sitting on top of the orange Supercrush 100, but underneath that is a Harley Benton 1x12 with a Celestion Vintage 30 speaker. Alright, so far so good. Let's check out the 3-way toggle switch. At the lowest position here we have some mids going on still, and then at the middle position we are cutting a few mids. Well, actually not a few, a lot of mids actually, but at the highest position we cut even more mids. Crazy. By the way, I forgot to mention, this microphone here in front of the cabinet is plugged straight into my phone. So what you are hearing on your end is pretty much what I'm hearing in this room here. There's no post-production or anything. What you see is what you get. All right, one more thing before we finish this video here. What I noticed is whenever you're using effects in the effects loop, for example, I have an Ibanez 89 analog delay and a JHS 3 series chorus in the effects loop of the DSL-20. It messes around with the higher frequencies of this pedal. I don't know, it gets smoother or more tamed. I don't know the correct word, but it's very cool. It sounds great when you're playing lead stuff. Check it out. Alright, now it sounded very cool. It reminded me of my early 20s. I mean, this thing is pretty metal. You can't deny that. It's metal AF. But I don't know if I would use this today. It's kind of like when you were younger and you played these for the first time, or this here, or this banger, you know, it was the best game ever. But 20 years later, it's like, okay, it's cool, but we got better stuff nowadays, you know? And this is kind of the same thing with this here. It still sounds cool. What the hell, I would still use it. It's cool, forget what I just said. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of this and also of these. Do you still play these? I think I should play these a little more. However, thanks very much. See ya.